Yeah, we bring reviews of your house, talk to our dudes of your house. I bring my views of your house, wrestling truths of your house. We talk to you in your house, we keeps it cool in your house, we keeps it cool in your house. I'm spitting truths in your house. Yes, Mark's hating on his fast. Becky's niche on the man. Play with two like a lias. Household a dangerous alliance. I am a diamond like Cody, and I'm overcoming like Kobe. No, they cannot hold me. Come listen, I'm hosting, critiquing, I'm boasting. This wrestling I'm knowing.
Fuck this shit! It's all about podcasts these days.
My name is Brian Pillman Jr., and you're listening to the In Your House podcast. This is Austin Theory of Evolve, and you're listening to the In Your House podcast.
This is AEW's Darby Allin, and you're listening to In Your House podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your House, starring Alakan House and my man, Michael Hutchison. That's Mikey Hutch. This is the People's Podcast. Ha. Hey guys, you already know who it is. It's your boys, Con and Hutch, ready to give you that work. When it comes to this professional wrestling business, that is what we do, and hey, we love it. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to the set. You guys can listen to the set Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. And ooh, where is the clock? I'm checking the time because last time that I checked, In Your House was the hottest professional wrestling podcast in the Midwest, because we hit them with that work, round the clock. You guys all ready? Know what it is. Oh yes, the director's in the building. Me and Hutch about to kill him. How you doing, bro?
What can I say? Con, it's raining diamonds for me on my end, man.
Oh yes,
you know,
sir.
it's good to be here on another show, but this isn't just any other episode, man. This episode is what's the kid saying now? Lit?
Oh, it's on fire, man.
It's lit, fam.
So yes.
But yeah, we have a guest.
We do have a guest, and he's rather dapper, and might I say, he's pimping. And it's one of the biggest guests that In Your House has ever had, if not the biggest. And before we go ahead and really get into it, even though, you know, everybody knows who it is, but I just got to say it, man. There's some guys, Hutch, that you're just personal fans of. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some wrestlers that you just follow, you love them, you know what I mean? You like their look, you like what they got going on, and you just think they're cool, man, you know? So you follow them.
Right. I mean, it's a vibe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they just you know, just their persona. It's just there's always a checklist. You know what I mean? That hits every, and this individual hits every criteria.
Yeah.
Right. And I've been a fan since the first time I've seen him. Yeah. And I'm not saying that just because he happens to be here. Yeah. I was saying that long before I knew this interview was even a thing. Absolutely. So yeah, man. So yeah, I'm here for this one.
So, without further ado, the next guest on In Your House, former WWE star, ECW star, TNA star, TNA commentator, former OVW heavyweight champion, That is none other than the Pope, Elijah Burke. How you doing, bro?
What's up? What's up, Con Man, Hutch? I think it's about time that Pope has made his presence felt here on In Your House, and it's such an honor to be on the platform with you guys.
Oh, it is an honor to have you, man. Just your name alone, it's heavy and respected. And for me to be able to have you on my show, I got to be honest with you, man. You looking great. Black don't crack. But I was watching you. You know what I mean? But I was watching you, a little bit back in the day, and I was always a fan.
Wow. Well, I heard what you guys said, and obviously I appreciate it. I think you guys have been way too kind to me. I certainly appreciate everything that has been mentioned by yourself and Hutch, and I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful for being able to do what I've done for the past 16 years, and I'm still out here doing the do, man, making it happen. Yeah. And got some big things coming up, man, and I can't wait to get into the business of sharing it.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, there in the household of 14 different countries across these great United States and locally right here in Indiana, the 22,000 strong on the Facebook page, we are talking to the Pope Elijah Burke, and as he said, he's got so much going on still down the line, and we're going to cover all that. We're leaving you a hook. He does have an announcement to make at the end of the show, and when we get there, you're going to want to hear it. But in my eyes, man, it's time to do the do. So the first question that I always love to ask, and of course we're going to get to everything else, but I have to ask this because I always like to understand the psyche of the professional wrestler, and this is going to mean something even more to me because it's you. So I want to ask this: where did this professional wrestling business start for you? Where did it start for the Pope Elijah Burke?
Well, it started simply, man, sitting on the floor, not necessarily on Dad's knee, but on the floor beside Dad. Sure. As he sat in his recliner, watching WTBS every Saturday morning, every Saturday evening. You know what I'm saying? So, we're watching the NWA non-stop, man. World Class Championship Wrestling was coming on the weekends, and we were just whenever wrestling came on, we were there. Me, my siblings, all my brothers, we were there. Yeah, and so it kind of started with Papa Pope, man. He was the guy that sat there eating some roasted peanuts all the time. Mom was cooking peanuts in the oven, and we would just sit there in the recliner, man, and go to town watching some wrestling. And I think that's truly where it all started for me. And it was during that time that I knew, watching Dusty Rhodes talk to me through the television, saying, "Reach out, touch my hand. Right now, I'm reaching out to touch your hand. Reach out and touch me." Yeah. And I remember sitting on that floor, reaching out, trying to touch Dustin's hand, going up to the TV like I'm the little blonde head girl from Poltergeist. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so it was during that time, man, that it was hook, line, and sinker for me, man.
That's amazing, man. I love to hear that, and that was awesome. For me, that was awesome to hear because, man, I just remember having so much good times with wrestling in my lifetime, and just sitting there and watching it. You know what I mean? Having some of the fam around watching it with you, and it's just a good feeling, and it's fun, man. And man, that's for me. Hearing that personally, it means something to me because I just remember the time that I would spend time with my dad. We would sit down. He would watch him wrestling, and he would sit up there and he would roast peanuts.
Oh, wow.
He would sit up there and he would roast peanuts. Facts.
Wow.
Facts.
Yeah, man. My dad had the peanuts, the roasted peanuts out the oven, and he would also have Coke. He would have his Coke with him, like he's always drinking some Coke, Coca-Cola, and let me clarify that, guys. Okay, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Okay, come on.
Yeah, don't be getting a twisted household. It ain't that kind of party.
Right. Yeah, so he would have his Coca-Cola and his roasted peanuts, man, and it was truly like a family moment for us. Mom wasn't really into it. Mom would be doing mom stuff, but man, when wrestling came on, it was on for us, man, and that was a tradition, not just with my dad, but with my grandma and my grandfather and my cousins and aunties. We were together like after a Sunday, after church or whatnot, and all the pay-per-views were coming on Sunday at the time, and WCW main event will come on 6 o'clock, 6:05 Eastern time on TBS. So we're gonna have some dinner at grandma's house, and once dinner's done, we might watch a little video gospel, and when that go off, we waiting on 6:05. We might play Uno until 6:05. Keep us busy. We might watch. We would just play Uno until it's time.
Get ready.
It was great, man. And yeah, man, it was great. It's always great, especially when you're doing it with your family.
Oh, no doubt. I totally agree. And with that being said, Hutch, man, this is your opportunity. I'm gonna need you to fire off a good one, bro. Okay, because it's the Pope. Okay.
Oh well, thanks for setting me up with all that pressure, Con. That's fine. Cool, nice. But you know what? It makes diamonds. So you know what? I'm gonna take a swing. We're gonna see how it goes. All right, man. So kind of like fast forwarding a little bit, man. I've always, recently, Con and I recently got blessed with the opportunity to do commentary. And I've always been a fan of commentary anyway, because, again, it's the lyrics to the song, so to speak.
Yeah.
And, you being, having, this is a severe understatement, the gift of gab, as you do, you obviously were a shoo-in for that. When you found out that you were getting this commentary spot, did you draw any kind of influences off past commentators? Because, obviously you brought your own flavor to it. Bobby Heenan, love it.
Woo, absolutely.
Hey, there you go.
Bobby, instantly. You are often, if you listen to myself and Josh Matthews at times, especially when we had little banters or whatnot,
right?
He would jump in. I remember one time he jumped in and he said, "1980s are calling. They want the color commentator back."
Yes,
and I quit back to him. I quit back to him. 2016 is begging for a 1980s commentator.
Facts.
Oh, yeah.
So because that's what's missing. I have a hard time today, to this very day, I have a hard time listening and distinguishing who's who when they're commentating, especially up north. And I can say that without any hesitation.
Yeah.
I don't know one voice from the other voice. So who's who? Everybody talks the same.
Yeah.
Everybody delivers the same. Mm-hmm. And it's just not, commentary was a big part of the entertainment when you're listening to, and I drew from Jesse Ventura. I drew from Jesse Ventura. I wanted, I was Pope. And by me being the color commentary as Pope, I'm already an established character.
Yeah.
Right.
And so therefore, let me be the character. Let me be the color, if you will. And I'm not just talking about because I'm a nice, dark, handsome man. Let me be the color on the table. Let me be the one that shoot off the jokes. Let me be the one that sides with this guy or that guy. And I will always encourage Josh just to be the straight man. But that's what we're missing. I really believe when all the commentators, and that was a very good question, by the way, because now you started me, man. But when all the commentators are, you have a 3-man booth, you have a 2-man booth, whatever the case may be, and there's no disagreement with what's going on before you. Everybody just agrees with everything all the time. That's a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just to kind, you hit the nail on the head right there. Absolutely perfect. And I think just to kind of add to that, at least, just coming from a fan's perspective, again, going back to you and Josh, you guys, it felt organic. It felt natural. Nothing felt forced. And I think as you said, especially up north, it's so micromanaged. Everything is so micromanaged. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nothing is organic. Nothing is real. And I would say Corey Graves is probably the one who's closest to that now. But again, it's just so formulaic up there, man. And like you said, you just can't distinguish one from the other. It's all just, I think, and I've actually alluded to on this show that I actually think that they've been cloning like versions of Michael Cole and kind of sort of like rotating them in. That's why they all kind of sound similar. I don't know. That's purely speculation. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
No, that's a great point.
I watched the relaunch or whatever it was when they put the new people on right before SmackDown.
Yes.
And there was only one voice. There are three guys, but there's only one voice that I knew.
Yeah.
That I could distinguish, and that was Jerry the King Lawler.
Facts.
So when the other two guys are talking, one happens to be a Caucasian brother, one has to be a black brother.
Yep.
Okay, and I couldn't determine who was talking at any given time, except when King, when he interjected. And so that's what I mean about adding flavor. When you're a color commentator, King is one of the best at it. Again, one of the guys that I drew inspiration for. I can go on and on, but certainly, the King, the Ventura, and definitely, without a doubt, Bobby Heenan, and I even certainly who I am as a character, drew from Dusty Rhodes. I would say stuff on commentary, much like I would in promos, that absolutely made no sense. But you got it. It made no sense, but you got it. And so I call those popisms.
Yeah,
it's my way. Yep. It's my way to give to the audience a way that I'm expressing what I'm seeing. Therefore came a hot shot of caffeine, or sweet cheese on the macaroni, that type of stuff. Because because at that time, I'm not thinking about the wrestling fan per se. I'm thinking about the casual fan. I'm thinking because the wrestling fans, they're going to be there.
Yeah,
they're there.
The
same wrestling fans that complain every week about WWE, they're going to be there. You know why? Because they can't complain if they're not. So they're going to watch anyway. I was trying to right. That's with everybody. AEW, whoever it is, they're going to watch just to complain. Yep. And if they don't watch, they can't complain. So they don't want to miss out. But my point was, I was thinking about the normal people who just tune in, and I want to say something that gets a reaction from them.
Yeah.
Good, bad, the other, it don't matter. I want to go, oh man, who is that guy? Or dang, that was funny. Or dude, he's making sense. So that's all. I wanted to be a normal brother that was on commentary, and I also wanted to speak to my people. We have all of these, and then I'm going to throw it back to you, House, but we have all these commentators, and I just want to hear somebody talk like me.
Big
I don't want to hear everybody talking like Michael Cole. I want to hear somebody that talks like me.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? So those were the people. Yeah, those were the people folk were talking to when I was commentating. I ain't trying to sound like no 2 bachelor degree educated brother from Wall Street. I'm trying to be this bro from the hood that you meet when you go to Walmart.
Facts. Facts. Just a normal cat, man. Just a normal brother, and there's nothing wrong with it. Just real, man. Raw. Just real. And that's what I'm digging, man. And I think that's why I was such a fan of when you came out, man. So I really got my eyes on you on WWE's ECW brand, and I saw you and I was like, man, this dude looks straight cool. You know what I mean? He got the white teeth. He got his hand wrapped with the 4-up on it. You know what I mean? He just looks cool, man. And I just followed you from there. So starting out, and I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you might have been hot off of OVW when you came in.
That's the only place I was.
Okay.
I started straight in OVW and went straight to WWE.
There you go. Hey, nothing wrong with it. And I saw you there. So what were you thinking? A question I want to ask you this is from breaking in and having that opportunity, because I just want to ask this, coming in, what was that like for you, man? Like, what was that like transitioning from OVW and then you're going to be on WWE TV?
Well, I most people will ask what was it like transitioning from boxing first, House. But we'll just ignore that.
But you can expand on that. You can expand on that too.
Well, I'm going to. But obviously, with the boxing background that I had and my record, I was trying to get to 100, if you will. I wanted to get to 100 wins. Because I had already made up in my mind that I wanted to stop. I mean, you know, guys were getting hurt. I was hurting people, and I didn't want to hurt people. I'm not the person that likes, you know, take pleasure
do that,
and knocking people out. You know, so I was like, man, you know, it's 3 years in now, and I'm like, I had enough. But I was doing the boxing for the entertainment aspect of it, not because I really love boxing. You know, everybody goes, why you, man, with a record like that, why you didn't keep going? Because I didn't love it. I loved entertaining people. Much like when my music hits doing wrestling, it was the same way when I boxed. My show started from when I came through that curtain or that door or wherever I was coming from. Yeah. And from that moment, I gave a show. You know, from my appearance, from my actions. So that's what I did. And I did that because it put me in front of an audience for me to use my talent to entertain. So that's the only reason I did that. And I was trying to get to 100. And you guys probably know the rest of the story. I suffered from the one loss, and that was it. You know, I wasn't going to, you know, risk anything further. I thought it was a great record, not, you know, whatever it was. But I thought it was a great record for almost 100 wins and just one loss. So I got to OVW, but I'm going to tell you how I got to OVW. Is it okay if I do that, boys?
Please go ahead. Please.
By all means.
Okay, so going to OVW was so funny because me and my best friend, he was a, 6'5", size 15, real life, fire breathing, walking, talking, barefoot white boy. And he was, when I say country, he's just country, man. And and he was my best friend, and I love him to death. And we were the ones that were, you know, when I met him and our love of wrestling immediately connected us. And that's crazy, man, because even today, people are being connected by their love of wrestling.
Yep.
That's crazy. And of course, that goes along with so many other things, whether it's football, basketball, whether it's LeBron James or not. You know, when you come across somebody that you have a common when you come across somebody that you have a common bond with and a connection, that connection just immediately, you know, is there. Yeah. And so that's what it was with me and him, and we were. I mean, we were watching wrestling and Nitro every chance we got together. You know, when I was coming home from the police academy. Yeah. You know, I got to get home enough time. You know, it's Monday night, man, and we're going to have our own little Nitro party. Well, me and him always had dreams of going into the business, and so we had talked over, and I would tell him so many times, okay, man, we got to do this, but where are we going to go? We're in Jacksonville. There's nothing here. How do we do this? And so back then they had the wrestling magazines, and Dory Funk for the Funkin' Conservatory would often take out an ad in whatever magazine it may have been at the time, the Inside Wrestling, the Wrestler, Pro Wrestling, take your pick. Yeah. Y'all listening today might not know nothing about all those magazines, but it was our internet. But so we would I came across that and I said, hey man, it's $1,500. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go down to Ocala, Florida. It's Dory Funk. You know, he trained Lita and a couple other folks. Let's go down there and make something happen. It just would never work. You know, he didn't have the money. I had mine, but it's like one of those things that you just didn't want to do by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, going into uncharted territory and all of that. It's kind of, and especially when you made a pact with someone who you care about and love, you don't want to leave them. You just try to reach back and grab their hand and pull them along. Well, that never ended up happening. And one day I'm booking somebody in the jail, and the jail. Well, I'm getting ready to, but the jail is overcrowded right now. Intake is overcrowded, not necessarily jail. So they were a little backed up. I don't know how. I don't know why. We don't have the computer system that we did today in the county jail, but we still had, internet. Dial-up was still a thing back then.
No doubt.
And wireless wasn't. Dial-up was still the thing. No wireless. And it was like, man, I went to the computer to kill time, and out of the blue, a banner came across the computer. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know somebody else, but it had to be through a cache or something, I would imagine now, because I know a little bit more. Yeah. But a banner popped up, said, first ever OVW WWE trial camp.
Ooh.
And when I saw it, I went to looking around to see, did somebody put this here or what?
Yeah.
And so I clicked it, and it said they were accepting 50 students for the first ever, WWE trial camp. And I immediately, I'm not doing anything, so I just printed it off, and I took my chance, and I sent it off, and I got a letter back, sent my pictures and stuff, got a letter back, said, hey, you've been accepted, to the OVW trial camp. Of course, you had to pay a fee and all that stuff, but hey, I was down. I got the money. I'm down.
Sure. So
I take 2 weeks off. I put some leave in, take 2 weeks off. February, go up there in 2003, go up there to OVW, man, and do the tryout for a week. That's where I met Beast, a.k.a. Shaq Gaspard, Tank Tolan, who went on to become one half of the Dicks, Jillian Hall, man. Nick Dinsmore, he was already there. Man. But I ended up, a lot of the guys that, came up through OVW, Muhammad Hassan, those guys, all those guys were there with me.
Wow.
And it was really, it was overwhelming. Mike Mondo, I remember getting in the ring during a tryout camp with Christopher Daniels. It was my first time in the ring, and Christopher Daniels is like, hey, come on, I got you. I'm like, hey, man, I ain't never done none of this. He's like, it's okay, I got you. Because you look like you're just easy. And, besides running the ropes, I was able to learn, a little bit of stuff. And after a week was over with, I went home, and then came May. So February, March, April, you hear nothing, and then comes May. And all of a sudden, me and my girl were sitting at the dock of the bay. This is no lie. I know it sounds like a doggone rap, but it's just true. We're sitting at the dock of the bay, wasting time. We sit on the waterfront in my Camaro, and we just, both of us done dozed off. We done loved each other a little bit, and we just kind of kicked the chair, the recliner in the chair, and we just looking up at the beautiful sky, and we done both dozed off in the car, and all of a sudden my phone rings.
Yeah. I
had to flip it open. Yep, that's right. It was a flip phone. I had to flip it open, and all of a sudden, it's like I'm in a dream. It's like I'm in a dream, and all of a sudden I hear, Elijah, my boy, Elijah, can you hear me? And I'm going, hello? Elijah, can you hear me? It's Jim Cornette. I'm going to hang up, and I'm going to call you back. I'm like, okay. And so I immediately get out of the car And I'm like, look at the phone. I'm like, I did just get a call. And I'm like, that guy said he was Jim Cornette. So I'm like, thinking it's a joke or what, but I'm out of the car now.
Right.
So I want to have better reception. Jim Cornette called. He calls me back. And he's like, Elijah, can you hear me? I'm like, yeah, Jim. Oh, good. I can hear you now. Okay, Jim Cornette. I'm like, he's like, hey, man, listen, I know you got a wonderful job. He didn't waste no time. He asked me how my job. He asked me how my day was. And I said, oh, I'm doing good, just sitting here with my girl. He said, can you talk? I said, yes, sir. He said, great. Listen, I know you got a wonderful job. I know you got your mother, you just bought a brand new house for it. I know you got kids that you're taking care of. That's your sister's kids. I know you don't know a headlock from a wrist lock, an arm bar from a crowbar, but if you come back up here, I can't guarantee you a contract, but I can almost guarantee you a contract. I can't make no promises, but that was literally what he said. He said, I can't make no promises, and I can't make any guarantees, if you come back up here that you're going to get signed to a contract. But I'm telling you, if you come back up here, you're going to get signed to a contract.
That's fantastic.
He said, unlike everybody else that was here, you look athletic.
Yeah.
You look the part.
Yeah.
He said, you didn't look like some of the guys that sent me a picture from 4 years ago when they were actually, 6 foot tall or 5'11" or whatever the case it may have been, and a solid 160 pounds. Now they show up, they're 5'11", 230 pounds.
Right.
He's like, so he's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? So my honesty, I believe, and the fact that I didn't know anything, and that's in the past. Certainly not today with the NXT and all of that stuff, but certainly in the past, that's what they wanted. Yeah. And to this day, that is what they still prefer in WWE. They want to make you a machine. Basically, if they had their way, they would put everybody into this machine like the Terminator and just print you out. Yeah. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want you to be able. Yeah, they want to, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
I know
I'm
what
just
you
saying
mean.
That's what they prefer. They prefer to mold you the way they want it done, which is in their mind the right way, so that way they can get the most out of you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I learned everything in that system for the most part. I learned everything in that system, and I'm glad that I didn't know nothing because it wasn't hard for me to transition. Except for the little bump I had, back to the boxing now, transitioning from the boxing to the wrestling with my punches. So I was too afraid to throw punches at OVW in the beginning, so I would always throw forearms or whatever the case may be. I did not want to throw punches because it was hard for me to pull the punches.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Right. Yep.
So I didn't want to KO nobody. Knock somebody
you didn't want to
out.
actually knock somebody out.
Didn't have to knock them out. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to have to knock somebody out. If you get my drift.
I feel you. Oh yeah.
Because I. Because Pope accidentally hit them a little too hard. Yeah, accidentally hit them too hard. They want to come back and kind of shoot on me. Then I'm going to have to knock them out.
Right.
But the respect process from everybody there, they worked with me. Everybody, they worked with me. I worked on a dummy for a year, like literally. Even though I learned how to throw the punch from hanging a light bulb from the ceiling and throwing the punch at the light bulb.
Yeah.
A good punch, and try not to lose that light bulb. That's how I learned how to throw a punch without hurting somebody. Yeah. And I'm going to get to the transition from the OVW, but it's the thing with Pope, man, and oftentimes I say things that rattles me. I'm going to do a seminar here, and I know I'm jumping ahead, but just follow me, folk.
Go right ahead.
I'm going to do a seminar here at Pro Wrestling 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main things that I like to focus on that you don't see enough of, and if you do see it, it's just not believable, that's the guy's fighting skills. That's the punches.
Yeah.
That's the kicks. The everybody house, I should be saving this, but I'm sure I get to it and more people hear it at a different time, but everybody that's getting in the business now, for the most part, especially what I see on the indies, because I'm out here, 2-3 times a month. Yeah. They're getting in, and they got the moves. They can do. Sure, everybody can do. Hell, if a guy's strong enough and I trust him enough, I can do the doggone Canadian Destroyer. Good grief.
Yeah.
That's not nothing you're doing. So everybody wants to get in and do the moves, right? But then when the moment comes in the match where you got to fight and make it look believable and it cause me to invest, they can't throw a single believable punch. And that pisses me off.
I hear you. That
pisses me off. I saw one of the kids on TNT. It was a turn-up moment. It was a turn-up moment.
Okay.
And when the moment happened from the turn-up, it just looked, ugh.
It didn't look believable.
Not a decent process. It wasn't a look. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they can't throw a punch. They're not comfortable throwing a punch. They didn't go through the basics. So by this time next year, I'll be operating in my own wrestling school. And one of the things that I teach guys when I go to these pro wrestling seminars, and I hold them, is you got to focus on the basics. If you don't learn the basics, then it's going to hurt you in the long run, because all you got is moves that everybody can do. My nephew, my niece can do the moves.
Yeah.
They do it all the time on the couch or on the trampoline in the backyard. It's the selling aspect. It's the selling aspect that you got to learn. Make me believe that you're hurt.
Psychology.
It's the make me believe that you're mad. You have to cause the audience that are watching you to emotionally invest, and that is missing today across a lot of platforms. I ain't gonna say all, but certainly most. It's missing.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I get back to OVW in case you guys want to touch on that.
Oh no! This is great. This you know what? It's great to hear this, because it's something that I think needs to be said, as far as and what have you said on the show before, Hutch? I want to bring it back. You said you like a good working punch.
Well, I was actually just sitting here. I'm really not saying this because it's an easy layup joke, but I'm honestly just gonna throw it out. The Pope is preaching the gospel right now, in regards of punches, because yes, I, as a fan, again, I've never been in the ring. I feel like even if somebody was to hit me with a working punch, I would disappear. You know what I mean? Just to a puff of dust, poof, gone. But yes, it's so lacking. And like you said, like, anybody can go out and do these moves. I mean, yes, you obviously need to work and learn how to do them correctly and safely and properly and whatnot. But very rare does it feel like a fight. If you go back to matches like WCCW, as you mentioned, and even old school WCW and WWF, there were times where, it looked like they were punching people in the face, and sometimes they might have been. But again, it's an air of believability that's lacking, as you said.
Great. Absolutely. Let me ask you this, Hutch, and I don't want you to stop. I want you to keep going here for a minute if you choose to. But let me ask you this: when's the last time you saw something on any platform that was believable, that you said these guys are actually going at it?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think the one that the one that kind of really that just popped out in my mind, there was I don't recall the year that it occurred, but there was it was Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton, and I do believe there was kind of a spot that they did at the end of it where Brock took his gloves off and rained down some elbows on him, and I believe he split him.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And that was that was something that really stood out. But other than that, man, you're really hard pressed to pick one.
I agree.
Because again, you don't see it anymore.
We should not have to think that hard.
Facts.
When it comes to that question.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have to. With as much wrestling that is on TV every week now, we should be able to pop off the top of our head and go, boom. I can tell you when. It was last week.
Yep.
That's what it should be.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But we are so smart. The fans are so smart now. The casual fan that's sitting in the audience that follows WWE but is not that hard. Everything's on. WWE obviously tries to corner the market in every shape and form. So even they got to release quote unquote news and stuff that's going on backstage so that they can keep the audience geared to their platform and not other platforms on the internet. So fans are out there, fans showing up, and they got their smartphone and they can clearly see what's going down, or they can go read what's supposed to happen if it's been, put out there or whatnot. So it's like, yeah, I think somebody mentioned something. It might have been House about Raw, and I said something to him at a point in time about watching Raw. He said, I don't need to. I already know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And so
it's colored by numbers up there, man.
It is.
It's just and it's like they don't.
It's formulaic.
It's hot and cold. It's formulaic and it's hot and cold. It's like WWE to me. It just, again, this is just solely as a fan. It's like they feel burned by like what The Rock has done, because The Rock has transcended to another level in regards of like the movies and stuff like that. And Cena has as well to a certain degree. I don't think WWE wants to.
I mean, finish your thought. But listen, why do you feel that like the WWE feel like they've been burned?
Well, I like, because they left. Because they moved on, and I don't know if it's an ego. Again, I could be totally off base here, but I think it's like I don't want to say that like the WWE is not happy for The Rock and Cena and that kind of thing.
Sure.
I just can't see them building a star to that level again and risk losing them. Does that make sense? Because it almost seems like every top star always seems to kind of hit a glass ceiling, so to speak, a plateau, and then they cool them off and bring them back down a little bit. It's like they never strike while the iron's hot up there. I mean, you look at Braun Strowman, you look at Roman Reigns, you look at all these people that that should be these these bigger than life mega stars, and they're just not quite there yet, because again, it's like they let them go so far. It's almost like, it's like, Icarus is flying too close to the sun. You know what I mean? Like they're getting too far, and then you got to pull them back down a little bit. I don't know. It's just, it's frustrating as a fan.
It is. And in another way, and to interject into that real quick, just to add to it, because I feel like I have to go the other side there. I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that they were really, burned, but because they can always, because guys like The Rock and guys like Cena, they always go back and help them, give them that little rating spike. But I do understand from the aspect of, I feel like Braun Strowman should be like a larger than life star by now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And it's like, why is he not?
Okay. Well, that's fair. Now let's hope, and gosh, I am enjoying it now, because see, when you do these type of things, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a conversation.
For sure,
I did a conversation. So thank you for that, Hutch, and I obviously it's my first time having the chance to shoot it with you, but let me put that in perspective for you.
Oh,
okay?
by all
means.
Put
that in perspective. All right. There is no way Vince will put money into anyone and not look for a return. There's that I'm going somewhere, so just pause before you comment.
I'm with it.
There's no way he'll put money, because if he's putting money, he's looking for a return on it, and possibly double, triple, quadruple than what he's put into it, because that's what everybody is for that company. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's what we all are in a sense when we're working for somebody. to make us money, but make them more money.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, that's the life we live.
Right.
But I have to let you know that your statement will be wrong in believing that they don't want anyone to become as big as The Rock or John Cena. The issue right now is who has that talent to be another Rock or John Cena.
Fair point.
Very fair.
Point.
Oh man,
That's
fair.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
Go
ahead.
So go ahead. So with that being said, it's not. They would love to have another Rock. They would love to have, or not another Rock, but someone on Rock's level, or magnitude of Rock. They love to have someone on a. The issue right now is the fact that because they don't have that, they don't necessarily need it because the machine is what sells now, and that machine is called WWE.
There it is.
Anybody can go up. Listen, everybody that's went up to that roster immediately gets a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. It wasn't like that back when because I probably would have had 10 of them.
Facts.
I would have been a multi-time whatever champ.
Facts.
Because we still had the legends that was wrestling. We still had Edge that was rocking and rolling, and Shawn Michaels and Batista and Kane and all those. See, those guys are gone now. So it's like they're doing the reason they're putting titles on these people so quickly is to make them stars.
Fact.
That's why. Let me tell you something about a title. This is what I learned. Okay, and we'll get back to OVW because I haven't forgot. But here's what we've learned from titles. So titles are put on individuals for 3 reasons. The title go on a person, 1, because they're over. That's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
2 is to help them get over. That's number 2. Or 3, to help the title get over. Whoa! What do you mean, Pope? Why do you think Flair held the title 21 times?
Great point.
Mm-hmm.
To add to that, to add to your point real quick.
Go ahead.
To add to your point real quick, why do you think that AEW put the title on Chris Jericho to make that title? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. So with that being said, the Flair will get the title for a number of reasons, but when that title got taken off of him, they had to put it back on him to make it illustrious again.
Yep.
To make it mean something again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these guys, they come up, so when they come up from NXT or they put titles on, boom, 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 and then you say they fizzle out or the iron is hot. But the real issue is they can't carry the iron. They don't have on a coal miner's glove. So they're not able to necessarily capitalize on it or whatnot. But back to the John Cena Rock statement, I think the WWE will love to have that, especially when they got these guys under contract for years or whatnot, because it only helps their brand. Whenever you see The Rock, trust me, it's like when you see Hulk Hogan. Who does not know Hogan, WWE? Who does not know Rock, WWE? Who does not know Stone Cold, WWE? Who does not know John Cena, WWE? So they're not going to feel burned by that because that helps them. That helps. But the problem, the real problem is there just aren't enough special
larger than life personalities
that has that it factor, like those guys that I just mentioned.
Yep.
Because listen, hey Hutch, one more thing.
What's
thing, that? And we don't have, as House just said, we don't have those larger than life personalities anymore. We just got a touch of it with the Fiend and whatnot.
Yeah.
But they use the term superstars. So since superstars is often thrown around, hell, I went to an indie show and they called the talent superstars. And I asked the darn promoter, why the hell you calling your guys superstars and they can't even put, 50 people in this place or 100 people in this place? What makes them a superstar? You're doing them a disservice. Don't call them a superstar.
presenting as
You
wrestling.
can call it stars if you want. Yeah. But don't do them a disservice by calling them a superstar, because a superstar means larger than life.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what a superstar is. The guys that I mentioned to you, the Hogan, Stone Cold, Rock, Cena, those guys are megastars.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts. That is
They're
facts.
megastars.
That is absolute facts.
And
Guys,
so,
we're having a great conversation here with the Pope, Elijah Burke. When you guys listen to this, it'll be Monday morning, 6 a.m. Put in your house, in your ears, as you're driving the kids to school, or maybe you're just driving to work. We're here to get you that work, having a great conversation once again with Elijah Burke. And man, you're telling us about your seminar here, man, and I'm just sitting here listening to you, honestly, and I'll be honest, when I pictured this interview in my head, I looked at it as more of an interview, but now what it's turned into has become so much more, and it's just a great wrestling conversation. And one thing that I want to ask you about, and your seminars, and you say that, and you'll get to all that stuff, and we'll plug it, but I want to ask you, what's some of the main focuses besides the punches, because you were always a charismatic guy, and I always saw you super charismatic. So are you going to be doing like promo classes as well, or maybe teaching people how to do commentary? Because I think that'd be amazing.
Well, when it's a multiple type seminar where I got a couple of days with them, then I can do that.
Yeah.
Or if it's a 4 hours or whatnot, 4 hours or whatnot, and the house don't ever cut me off again while I'm trying to make a point.
Oh, my apologies. My apologies.
Todd, you about to get knocked out.
I know, and I don't know
what the hell's wrong with him, Hutch.
I know.
Man, I tried to tell him, man. You know what? I'll handle that. I'll handle that next time I see you. Don't worry about it. Say no more, fam. I got you.
I'm sitting right here talking about megastars, and he's going to cut me off and talk about. I get it. I understand. I do know we got time for strengths, and I roll with that.
Dare I not step on the Pope ever again?
Hey, man, it's all good. It's all good. 'Cause trust me, sometimes I get it's still the guy from NWA fan convention says it's still real to me. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
It's still real to me. Okay.
Damn it.
Right. So it's still real to me,
and I
in
love
the
it.
aspect of how we do what we do.
Yeah.
So oftentimes when you touch on a topic or you guys bring something up, it's very, I'm passionate about it.
For sure.
I'm very passionate about it, and half of the stuff I say I don't want to say. It's just, I'm here.
You got to
so I
say
might
how
as
you
well
feel.
on.
Yeah.
So I want to make one more comment on the megastar thing.
Please go
I
ahead.
wanted to ask Hutch a question, and then I'll get to the seminar, and we don't have to expound on this too much, Hutch. It's just a straight up answer you can give me.
Yeah.
Besides Braun Strowman, we're gonna, because he's a, he's a monster. We're gonna take him out of the equation.
Sure.
But which one of those guys across all platforms? I'm not just talking about WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the guys that you are paying your money to see or you're investing your time in watching, most of them, if you came up against them in a dark alley, you probably wouldn't bat an eye.
Yep. It's true.
Which one of those guys is going to actually put fear in your heart because you face to face with them in a dark alley? You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
Hey,
facts.
I know for me, hell, if I would come up against a Bad News Brown in the alley, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
The heck if you come up against somebody like that, or Jake the Snake Roberts in the alley, it sounds like you see Arn Anderson, freaking Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, because man, so the industry has changed, man. It's changed a lot because you see guys, and this is not a knock on either of you, but I know how both of you look. I know both of your height. I know both of your weight. You know, so you see guys that look like you, and there are other.
I'm flattered.
There are other people. I just do my research, Daddy. There are other people. What do you mean I'm stalking?
Game respects game,
man. Hey, Pope follows In Your House podcast. I listen to you guys. It's right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are the problem with wrestling right now, and then I'm going to get to the seminar. The problem with wrestling is there are guys like you who are sitting on their couch watching television saying, I can beat him, whereas we weren't saying that about No Doggone Horseman. We weren't saying that about Demolition. We certainly wasn't saying that about No Road Warriors. We weren't saying that about Macho Man, about Roddy Piper. Heck no, we're not saying that because we believe those guys will kill us.
Facts.
No debates. Like, you are absolutely right.
Rip us apart, bro.
Wrestlers back then, like, they exuded a foreboding presence, whereas now, like, I could see Seth Rollins, like, working at a Foot Locker or an Orange Julius or something. You know what I mean? Like, and it's no offense to him because, you know, Seth Rollins, you know, he's a great talent and, you know, good on him. But it's like, they just look like normal people who just got a job at WWE. Yeah.
That's the problem. Everybody just look like normal individuals. And you know their backgrounds, and there's nothing about their backgrounds that say they're legit. You know, there's a lot of people that's come in that have some legit backgrounds, whether it's MMA, whether it's boxing. There are others that come in during the same time that say they got backgrounds in this, that, Muay Thai, or whatever the case may be. And then they get in a real fight. They get in a real fight and they get their butt kicked.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the seminar. Don't want to open up that bag.
Right.
Yowie, wowie.
Love it.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, everybody's listening smart enough to know where I went there. So,
right.
Anyway, about the seminar, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. Again, back to my MMA stuff. Look at Bobby Lashley. Y'all may see me tweet out stuff about how stupid, how ridiculous it is that a guy of his stature, somebody that should be larger than life, somebody that can take out anybody that comes up against him, and yet he's in meaningless storylines. He's getting beat by guys half his size in 6 minutes on WrestleMania, and you're supposed to make me believe that this guy's a threat?
Woo!
This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. This is the type of stuff that makes absolutely no sense.
Facts.
Preach the gospel.
And then I push forever. I push forever to link up with the brother, you know, and to push to to push for that Lesnar. That's where he should have been. He should have been fighting every big guy and going through him. You have the audacity, if you will, to call a guy almighty and he getting beat by people who refer to as Mighty Mouse. You got to be out of your mind.
I can't even.
So now if we ever were to put him against Brock Lesnar, hey, I got news for you. That'll never happen because there's no way they can sell it now. There's no way they can. I was talking to my best friend in 20 years. Rey Mysterio has a more believable chance of beating Brock Lesnar than Lashley does. Because we've seen Rey Mysterio top a giant. We've seen Rey Mysterio beat Kane. We've seen Rey Mysterio beat The Big Show. We've seen Rey Mysterio go out there with Kevin Nash.
Win the Royal
Rumble.
We
know what he's capable of doing. Win the Royal Rumble. So we know he can do it. So he has a better believability chance of beating Brock Lesnar. Anyways, so yeah, let's get on because this stuff making me hot. Y'all make me hot.
No, I'm just sitting over here. Listen, I'm sitting over here listening to the Pope, and I'm over here like this is music to my ears right now. Like I'm just loving hearing it.
I'm over here like I had the mute button pressed, like I'm clapping, I'm like throwing my hands in the air, singing hallelujah. Because again, this man is just join us not to to steal a line from another podcaster out there. Join his household, sit underneath the learning tree, and listen and let the Pope pack a lunch because the Pope is taking you to school. All right?
Absolutely.
I mean, come on now.
guys, once again having a great conversation with the Pope as he is preaching the gospel to the congregation, and I definitely want to take a second to shout out Dragon Horde's Coin and Gaming. Dragon Horde's is the premier store for magic coins, magic and coins in Central Indiana. If you live here in Central Indiana, come check out some of the in-store games and play some events. If you aren't from here, hit up the Facebook page at Dragon Horde's Coin and Gaming. That's Dragon Horde's Coin, lettering gaming. To contact them about buying your stuff. They're always buying coins, magic cards, silver, and of course, gold. And this podcast is absolute gold right now as we're sitting in with the Pope Elijah Burke, and he's about to tell us a little bit about his seminars, man, and I'm excited to hear about it. It's something you guys definitely want to hear about. Pope, go ahead and if you would like to, of course, because I'm here. I'm here. I'm all, you know what I mean. I'm on the Elijah Express right now. And I'm just not trying to get knocked out. So we're going to talk about what you want to talk about.
Good call, buddy.
Classic. I appreciate that. Well, Hutch, we're going to do this seminar, man. I've been fortunate enough to be invited down by Alex Porto, who's a former WWE talent from the 80s, early 90s. And he has a school down in Winter Park, Florida called Pro Wrestling 2.0. So this coming Thursday, I'll be on the 21st. I'll be in Winter Park, Florida, and I'll be doing this seminar for his trainees there. And one of the things that I like to focus on, and I believe we probably already covered so much of it, is the believability factor of what you're doing when you're in there, and teach psychology. Now, psychology is a lost art across a lot of platforms. Psychology is listen, when I say a lot of platforms, I mean every platform there is, you see a lack of psychology at some point. And sometimes it's stuff that when you're sitting back watching and you're not even in the business, the first thing you see it and you go, what? That didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you're just a fan. You're just watching.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, why they do that? That didn't make any sense. So that's psychology. Sometimes, psychology is a learned trait. It's not something, well, it comes with time. It's not something that you can just say, hey, here it is, blah, blah, blah. Because you can tell the person, and they go, oh, I see why this should happen or why that should happen. But then when it comes time for them to do a match or put a match together, they can't apply that psychology. So it's something that really comes over time. But that is something that I'll be focusing on, the when, the where, the why, and the how. Because a lot of times these guys are doing stuff just to do it. And I mentioned the Canadian Destroyer earlier.
Yeah.
If you hit, Lord have mercy, help me here. But if you hit a Canadian Destroyer 2 minutes into the match, and your opponent is up running 30 seconds later, hitting a move on you, can you tell me what in the hell is going on? Is that psychology? I mean, if you hit the Canadian Destroyer, to all my Canadian Destroyers out there,
right,
that should be the finish. And if it's not the finish, it should darn near be the finish.
Right.
So it's that type of stuff. It's like, oh gosh, it's like flipping over the top rope, running to the other rope, ducking under a clothesline, doing the springboard, and coming off with a cutter, and all of a RKO as they call it today. And then all of a sudden the guy pops up and y'all doing another move right after that, another. And so it's that type of stuff that I'll be working on with those guys. Promos, promo material. I always like to have the guys cut a quick promo, and I just give them some insight on how they should do it, or maybe something to say. I always like to give them some great advice because in the world of promo, I excel. With no shame, I'm not trying to put myself over, but that's my field. I often I had a talk with Triple H when they were in Jacksonville. It's like, that's something that I always wanted to do. Even when I lost my mentor, Dusty Rhodes, down in NXT. So when somebody got a gift, they got a gift, and as my brother would say, you got the gift, you might as well use it. So So that's something as well that I'll be working on the guys with. And as we already talked about, we talked about the punches, we talked about the kicks, we talked about, simple stuff, man, the cover. These guys go down and they go in for the cover. They don't even do believable covers anymore because they know what's supposed to come next.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the referees. I love working with referees. I hope some referees are on hand for the seminar because they need to understand how to help the match because they are a part of the match. And a lot of guys think they can just throw on the referee shirt and go in there and count, but it's not how it works. I dealt with a kid last night. I was at Champ 7 Pro Wrestling in Jacksonville, ran by Thunderbolt Larry Hamilton, great father-like figure in this business. I've known him forever, and he ran the show, and he wanted me to come by. Or actually, I went by a surprise this time because I didn't go when he wanted me to go. But I just gave the refs some advice about placement, about how to protect themselves and how to protect the match. You're doing a tag team match, and the guy comes out of the corner to go help his partner, and you're counting the 5 in 2.5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, whoa!
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, slow down.
Yeah.
Like, easy, brother. Just
let it breathe, man.
But listen, these are people who have not been through training, and if they have went through training, they haven't been properly trained. Because the first thing I'm going to do, if you are about to chastise your child or you're going to correct your child, you're not going to, I can use the belt terminology since I got my butt whooped with a belt. And
me too.
So I'm going to say belt. Okay, good. So I'm not going to just come in the room swinging a belt immediately.
Right.
Because they're in there wrestling in bed. I'm going to come in, what? Didn't I say, no, come on. I'm going to come and say, hey, you guys stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it now. Don't do it again. Hey, did you hear what I said? Oh, you're not listening to me? Let me grab my belt. So it's the same thing when you're refereeing, if you can understand that analogy. You don't just go over and start counting immediately. You go over and say, hey, get out of the ring. I'm the referee. Listen to what I'm telling you. Stop choking them. Oh, you're going to choke? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just for lack of a better term, I'm speeding it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when the guy breaks, you point to your referee shirt and you go, hey, I'm the referee. Don't do that again or you're going to risk getting disqualified if I get to 5. So it's just that type of stuff, man. Just simple, simplistic, but what is missing and lacking in the business today, psychology.
That's what we like to hear. That absolutely, because it's nuances to get to tell the story. To as you said, psychology, and that sounds like a great seminar to be at. In any facet of the business coming from you guys. That's Pro Wrestling 2.0 presents the Pope Elijah Burke Seminar. I actually looked it up here, so I'll just throw it out there. 4440 Metric Drive A, Winter Park, Florida 32792. Thursday, November 21st. That is the Pope Elijah Burke Seminar. And if you guys are listening to this here at In Your House, you're getting just a taste of the inside knowledge that you're going to get from somebody the caliber of Elijah Burke. So with that being said, I'm going to throw it over to Hutch, man. Is there anything else that you would like to ask Elijah Burke? Because it's been such a fantastic conversation so far.
Absolutely. Again, I feel like I've learned so much. You know what I mean? And I definitely never claim to learn, to know everything. Hell, I don't claim to know anything. But yeah, again, this has been very, very enlightening. In all seriousness, and I've loved this entire conversation. You know what? And I'm going to close with this question. I always ask this whenever we have talent on our show, and especially prestigious talent as yourself. With the with you working in WWE, Impact, you've traveled the roads, man, and I'm sure you've seen all kinds of things. Do you have any fun road stories that you can share that you've seen that you can actually divulge? You don't have to name drop anybody. You don't want to get anybody in trouble. But
right.
But yeah, what's some fun things that you've experienced, out on the road, some crazy stuff that you've seen, that kind of thing?
Well, one of my favorite, I think that jumps to mind. I ain't gonna say it's a favorite, but it's certainly a funny one.
There we go.
We're in Thailand. We're in Thailand and Singapore. Yeah, and we come back from a show, and there's just some beautiful women in the lobby, and we're all getting off the bus and we're walking in, and Great Khali looks around.
Great Khali.
And he goes, yeah, Great Khali, man. He looks around and he goes, hey, all of you, come with me. All of you. I said, wait, what are you doing, Khali? I want all of them. Come with me. So that is yeah. So that's one of my
tremendous.
Favorite,
I want all of them.
Yeah, I mean, all of you, come with me. Yeah, man. And over there, they literally like their head might come to his waist, above his waistline. So that's yeah, all of you. Oh, come with me. So, yeah, all of you, come to my room. Come with me. Yeah, so Khali is he was certainly a character, a giant of his stature, to be as funny as he was, and loving and compassionate. Yeah, he's a real cool guy, man. He really is. I have some other stories about him that I can't share, but Khali is a real funny dude. He's a funny dude. But go ahead, bro.
No, I'm saying that is amazing. As we all know, and we've all learned this all over the years, that Pope is pimping, but we just found out that Great Khali was pimping a little bit too.
Khali did not mess around, man. I can tell you that, man. He didn't mess around. But hey, I do want to say before I get ready to depart from you guys, man,
sure.
I always like to encourage anyone that I talk to. I got other guys that have hit me up for podcasts. I was even, one guy hit me up on Twitter to do his podcast, and I say, hey, why don't you take a moment to donate to my charity and then hit me back?
Yeah.
So I want to share that with you guys, because I got a big event coming up for my Love Alive charity, which you can read and learn about at love-alive.org. It's a charity that deals with the impoverished community here in Jacksonville, Florida, and surrounding areas. We deal especially with the homeless and the sheltered families. We always have something for the kids. We try to do our best, whether it's to provide them with all the essential needs for them to achieve academic success, or, just to have some toys for the toilets and, some clothes for them, or whatever the case may be. My annual event is coming up on January the 11th, and we're going to be doing, again, some big stuff. We've been covered by all of the local news stations here, but I got to tell you, that is never what it's about. I don't know how they get there. I don't know how they find out, but that's never our intent. I just need you guys to know that my charity, the Love Alive charity, is a publicly donated, funded company, if you will. So we're funded by the donation of others, and obviously from my own pocket. And I always like to tell people, a dollar helps. And if you're listening to this, if you can go to lovealive.org, love-alive.org. I share links on my page. You can follow me at Elijah Burke, Facebook/Elijah Burke, or you can follow me on Twitter at DA Black Pope, The Black Pope, as well as on Instagram, The Black Pope. I often share links. We got a Cash App as well. If you don't want to go through donating via PayPal, you can do so on Cash App, the Love money sign, the Love Alive charity. But if all else, if there's nothing else, I certainly just hope that you guys support, share, and help me to continue to grow my charity, man. It's a job, trying to do for others and make sure that others have. It's been a challenging task, man, but we're going on the 8th year now. And so I never look forward to seeing 400 to 500 people line up around the block just to get fed. And the cool part is we don't just feed them out of a brown bag, white bag, out of a soup truck. We feed them out of Burger King. Yes, burgers, chicken sandwiches, their rib sandwiches if they have them, that they had one year. So that's what we do, man. So we just try to give and be the change that we wish to see in this world. And we hope that you join us in being a part of that.
Tremendous. Absolutely.
Absolutely. No, and we've had a lot of fun, a lot of jocularity here on this show. And I got to say, this is one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done. And I'm not just saying that because you're on here right now. I'm saying it because it's facts. But the fact of the matter is
you're saying that because you don't want to get knocked out.
Facts. There's that too. I don't need that, man. I don't need all that. Getting some of that punch, man. He was 98-1, bro. Let's go. But in all seriousness, what you're doing for your community, and the charity and helping the homeless, the Love Alive charity, I know I myself have offered up a donation because I truly believe in what you're doing, and you have in your houses full support on putting that charity out, because I really respect what you're doing, man, and as awesome as you were in the ring, as awesome character as you were to watch as I was coming up, I gotta say, man, you're an even better person, and what you're doing is it's just, God bless you, man, for real, because that's absolutely incredible.
Word.
And I appreciate that. And I want to say this to those that are listening. I never, it's not a knock on any other charity. There are obviously a lot of big charities here in the world that we come across, and we see the works that they do or whatnot when something of catastrophic nature takes place. But I always tell people, look, man, if you want to see your money at work, and I only ask for $1, you know, but if you want to see your money at work, we share everything that we do. We post it, we do videos. If you want to see your money actually at work, then join us. Donate a couple of bucks to the Love Alive charity, because when you're donating money or doing these birthday fundraisers, you don't get to see where that money goes. I'm showing you where the money goes. Love Alive charity, we're going to show you exactly where your money goes, and we don't take for granted those who have done it and who continue to support us. So thank you all. If you're listening and you have been a part of us, then thank you, because we cannot do it without you. But hey, man, guess what, guys? I actually have something that I really wanted to say for the longest, but I couldn't because we had just started talking. I got some breaking news I got to share, man.
Yes. That is, as you guys heard earlier in the show, we left you a hook. There is big news that the Pope is going to be dropping right here on In Your House. So I'm going to shut my yap, and I'm going to let the Pope speak. Please let us know what this breaking news is.
Well, guys, after a long, considerate moment of having a conversation with myself, if you will, just allowing things to manifest in my head, I finally became enlightened to understand what folk were missing in the world of podcasts. And I don't know, do you know what that could be? As my boys in the New Day would say, they would go, whoo. I don't know. Do you know?
Who? Well,
who is exactly the question? Who? The world of podcasts. The world of podcasts has been missing yours truly. So I have decided that now is indeed the time to come on board the Elijah Express, because starting on December the 7th, your boy, the Pope, will be debuting Pope's Point of View with Elijah Burke across all of your podcast platforms.
Damn.
Oh, guys, did you hear that? They're in the 14 different countries across these great United States and locally right here in Indiana, 22,000 strong on the Facebook page. We call you the household, the listening audience. Huge news just dropped right here on the show. The Pope, Elijah Burke, is entering the podcasting world on December 7th across all podcasting platforms. That is amazing news, and that's something definitely everybody should be looking out for, and I know I will as well too.
Well, certainly I'm going to have a main man by my side. I like to call him Con Man, but y'all will get introduced to him when that time comes. But I want to make you guys very, very, very much aware that if you enjoy what you heard today, this is just not even scratching the surface. Because when I get down into the nitty-gritty of what Pope's point of view is going to be, you got a little bit of taste of it, but we're just going to add a lot more salt and pepper. And as we do in our household and the household, we're going to add some hot sauce to every single topic.
Hutch, did you hear that, man?
Well, to say that I'm here for it is a very, very, very huge understatement. That's absolutely awesome. I mean, again, like I feel like the podcasting puzzle is complete now.
Yes.
With the Pope throwing his name in the proverbial hat,
Absolutely.
so to speak.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, what do they say? Like, shut up and take my money.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm here for it. That's awesome. And again, as cliche as it sounds, you got a steady listener right here, brother. Already.
Oh, awesome, man. I appreciate that. I'm very excited about it. The venture into the podcast platform and into the world of podcasts and however you like to refer to it. I'm very excited. And I think we're going to have a bunch of interesting topics to talk about. There's always something crazy happening throughout the week, as it is, and we'll touch on so much stuff. We're going to touch on the stuff that the others won't touch on. That's what's going to separate Pope's point of view from everybody else, because it's actually going to be my point of view, and I will not bite my tongue. I will not hold back as I kind of did tonight, but I still showed you guys a little something of where we're going to go. So when we start this thing and Pope gets going with the Pope's point of view, man, it's going to be something you're not going to want to miss. And I can promise you there will never be a boring moment on Pope's point of view. It's going to be live, Daddy. It's going to be live.
As the man said, it is going to be live. And this episode was live here at In Your House. And man, that's huge news. There's really nowhere to go from there. So when you guys listen to this Monday morning, you guys heard the huge news. Once again, I have to say it, December 7th, Pope's Point of View is coming to all major podcasting platforms, and I'll tell you where they're all going to be at once we get there. But until we get there, I have to say this: Pope Elijah Burke,
yes,
of course as a fan, but also as man to man, I respect you. Thank you for all that you've done, for putting your body on the line for mine and everybody else's entertainment, providing me with so many years of entertainment, and man, just God bless you, and thank you so much for blessing our podcast. I really, really appreciate it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for taking the time to say all that. Certainly, I like to tell folks it's not needed, but I do understand and never take your thought for granted. I will not blow that aside. I am certainly grateful and thankful that you were able to express that to me, because it means a lot to know that we've impacted, even if it's just one person that you've had an impact on, that you did your job as a professional, as an athlete, whatever it is that you're doing. So yes, man, thank you for that. That means the world. And everybody that's listening, be sure to get the word out there. Share. Pope's Point of View is coming your way real soon.
Pope's Point of View. Definitely want to check that out. Woo.
Hey, Hutch, it was great talking to you, man. Great catching up with you. And, You know, one of these days we got some more surprises coming for you. I got surprises coming for both of you. You ain't ready for it yet, though, but you will be when the time comes, Eddie.
Oh, fair enough, man. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you as well, man. And again, you know, to kind of reiterate what Khan said, thank you so much for, you know, for what you've given and just, you know, being easily, you know, just so immensely entertaining and just killing the game, man. And you're continuing to do it. And I cannot wait to, you know, to hear this podcast and, you know, to see what the future holds, so to speak. But yeah, this has been nothing short of a highlight for me, bro.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Awesome. And I want you to remember the word that you said, continuing, because Pope ain't done by a long shot. I got some more breaking news, but you're going to have to tune in to Post Point of View to hear all of that, Daddy.
What a hook. What a hook.
And that, my friends, again, is another hook. Stay tuned.
You definitely don't want to miss it. So it's been a great episode. Pope, once again, thank you. We look forward to everything that you have going on, whether it be your dates, your seminars, your upcoming podcast, which is going to be amazing. Just thank you, and you've already done so much, and you're continuing to do it, man. So just thank you for everything.
Thank you, guys. It was an honor. It was a pleasure, and we'll catch up soon, and we'll do it again.
Absolutely. And with that being said, there's nowhere else to go. So the only place I can go is throw it to my man Hutch. Go ahead and plug away, my friend.
Thank you very much, sir. And I will. I'll before I get into the social media plugs, I'll go ahead and schedule this meeting between you and I now, because again, we got some business we got to take care of for you cutting off the Pope. So I'll be seeing you at about 1300 tomorrow. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah, you heard me right. You know, write it down in your calendar. Anyway, you can follow me on the Twitter at Hutch IYH, at Hutch IYH. Give me a follow. Let me know what you did. I'm doing my best to try not to neglect that one. I am trying to tweet a little bit. I'm going to try to be a little bit more active on that. And also, you can follow me on the Instagram at Hutch in Your House, and that is spelled just like the name of the show that's going in your ear holes right now. And you know what we always say here: it doesn't matter what you cheer or what you boo, whether it's WWE, AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, doesn't matter. We are wrestling. We are Legion. We are one. Thank you very much for listening to this amazing episode of the In Your House show, and you have a wonderful week. Talk to you next time.
We are one. One of the great slogans of this show from my man Mikey Hutch. And guys, this was one great episode, but you know why? Because we hit y'all with what? Oh yeah, we hit y'all with that work. So let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. Check us out, November 20th. Oh yeah, this coming Wednesday, AEW is at the Coliseum, and In Your House will be in the building. November 30th, DCCW, Thanksgiving Thunder. Oh, you already know In Your House is there and hitting the commentary table. We gonna give them that work. Guys, what are you doing? Buy a freaking shirt. That's www.prowrestlingtees.com/inyourhouse. Get this work, get this shirt. And guys, we tell you this all the time. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on. Or get gone. Because the household, well, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.